Hi everyone, in this video we are going to code and style the About section of our website. The About section is going to be the largest section, but it is going to be the simplest one. So in the first subsection and in the last subsection of this About section, we have the text on the left, the image on the right, and in the middle subsection we have the image on the left, the text on the right. But if we go ahead and keep decreasing the width of the window, at some point we are going to see that everything stacks vertically, and then that order is changed. So for all three subsections, the text comes first and the image comes last. That is what we are going to do, that's something that we are going to do with Flexbox as well. So let's go ahead and let's jump into this section. First off, we need to go ahead and we need to take a look at how we are going to code this section. So in here, we are going to have one container for this text on the left, another container for the image. The same goes for this image, for this one, and for this one. Now, the way that I'm going to code this is going to be that each subsection is going to be a container of its own. So each subsection is going to be a different container. Right? And then within that subsection, we are going to have text, and then we are going to have image. There are going to be containers as well. So let's go ahead and let's jump into coding. So this is the About section. Now I'm going to create the first part or the first subsection, and then we are going to basically copy paste that 2 times. So I'm going to say part 1. So this is the first part. We're going to create a div. This is going to be about the __ pt-1. Now this is going to be the unique class that this subsection has. I'm going to give it a shared class as well, because the styling that is the same, and that is going to be about part. Now within here we are going to have 2 containers. The first one is going to be content. Now for the first part and third part, the first part is going to, the first item is going to be content, but for the part in the middle, the first content or the first item is going to be that image. So the middle one is going to be different. Now let me grab this part, let me just copy it. So here what I'm going to do is I'm going to create that content div. So this is going to be -- content. This is also going to have a class of about pt -- content. There we go. So this is the content. Within the content, we have a title, paragraph, and an anchor element. So we have a title. The title is going to be h2. Now, before moving forward, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give this section a utility class of section padding. So it is going to receive all the styles for the section padding, whether they're normal styles or they're within our media query. It is automatically going to receive them. We don't have to really go ahead and create those styles in media queries all over again. So let me grab this. I'm going to put that right here. So this is going to be the _ the title. I'm also going to give it another class as well, so which is going to be about part content title. Now, because this title resembles the title for the features section, I'm going to give it another class, and this class is going to be section _ title, which is going to receive, now this is going to receive all these styles. So this is first class, and this is the third one. There we go. Now in here, we're going to have a span element, which is going to say quick and easy. And outside the span, we are going to say quick and easy to use. Is this grammatically correct? Quick and easy, quick and easy to use, I think. I'm not really sure. Easy to use, not the templates. No, that is not correct. Quick and easy to use templates. There we go. Let's save that. Let's take a look at our changes so far. So now you can see that right away when we provide that section padding, we can see our padding for this section, this distance on the top. And when we say section title, it receives all those styles. The span receives all those styles. And we also have this before element that we've created. Outside of the title, we are going to have the para. The para is going to be, let me just go ahead and grab all of these classes, and I'm going to say para. Let's create that. Let's say class. Let's put that there. So instead of title, we are going to say para. Now keep in mind, we already have created a section para, which I could show that to you. It's right here. There we go. So it is going to receive all these styles automatically. We don't have to do anything. I'm going to say lorem. I don't know, like maybe like 30. Is that enough, or that's not that much? There we go. So this is our paragraph. I think this is a little bit more than 30. So I could say 50. Yep. So let's keep it at 50. Now, the final thing that we're going to have here is going to be that link. The link is going to be an anchor element. The href is not going to go anywhere. Let's provide it with a class. Now, it's going to be this one right here. Let's put it here. Instead of the para, we are going to change that to this one. Let's see. We don't have any utility class for these kinds of anchor elements. The utility class is there for these anchor elements. For this one, this is going to be styled from the ground up. We are going to style it from the ground up. So I'm going to remove this utility class, and instead of the para, I'm just going to say link. So it is about content link. And what is it going to say? It is going to say try it free or for free. I think try it free is okay. There we go. Let's save that. Try it for free. So this is going to be the first part of the first subpart of the first part, if that makes any sense. There we go. Let's come down. Now the next thing in here would be that image. So this is the image. I'm going to create a div. The div is going to have a class of about __ pt-1 --img, and the other class is going to be that shared class. So it's going to be about __ pt-img. Within here, let's insert an image, and before moving forward, let's say loading is equal to lazy. There we go. The source, excuse me, is going to be images, and within the images, where is the about section? The first one. So it's going to be the about one. We're just going to select that, and I'm just going to say within the alt, let's just set it to template. Now I'm going to give this no, I'm not going to give it any class. Let's save our changes. Let's come here. Let's take a look at that. Let me go ahead to that specific section after the features, and I'm going to get rid of the height, and let's get rid of the background. Let's save that. There we go. So this is what we have done so far. You can see all these styles, except for the link, which we are going to code from this ground up. All these styles that have been applied. Now this part is done, so why don't we go ahead and comment this part, collapse it, put it down here, and I'm going to save this. I don't know, for some reason it is not, format document. For some reason the code formatter is not running. So if you hold Control and press Shift with P, it is going to bring up this menu, and you can just say format document. It is not working. I don't know why it is not working. Okay, it should format it. Let's go back. Let me just provide some space. No, it doesn't format this one. So I'm going to close this, and I'm going to reopen it in the hopes that it would fix the issue. Sometimes this is going to solve all the issues, just reopening it. Okay, let's bring it down right here. Let's save that. Code formatter, but it cannot. Was updated. Well, it does format it in the other window that I have open. Okay, let's take a look at this. Okay, anyway, I'm just gonna format it manually. Let's put that there, and let me collapse this. Let me bring this back, bring this back, and this is gonna be on the same line. Save that, there we go. So everything has to come back. So I think what I'm going to do is, let's go ahead and what I could do is I could grab this and I could manually adjust this. So for that to work, so if we want to indent it further, we are just going to hit tab, right? It is going to put it, it's just going to indent it towards the right. But if we want to indent it backwards, we are going to hit shift and then tab. It is going to bring it back. There we go. So this is, you know what, let's go ahead and let's actually see what the issue is, why this doesn't format. So what I'm going to do is, so this is VS Code, right? Bottom right corner, you can see that there is written prettier. We're just going to click on this, and we can see that at this time it has completed the formatting, but somehow the formatting, it is not being applied on our elements. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back. I'm going to keep it right here, because when we save it, the prettier code formatter, it has to take care of everything. Now, if we go up, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring this up. So this is where we are. So if I go up, you can see that it says online for, no, for the most part, what happens is when the prettier, it does not format your code, it means that there is incorrect semantic, is syntax, some sort of syntax error within your HTML file. And it says on line 141, we have said this. So we have an icon that has a class of FA solid, FA anchor right. The icon ends here, and the icon's closing tag is here as well. So it has been repeated twice. On which line? On line 141. So if I go up, it is going to be within this features section. Let's go ahead to line 141. There we go. So this is the issue. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to save that. I don't think the document is formatted. So this is going to be the card number 2 that we have fixed. Card number 1, you can see that this is fixed. I don't know why that happened for card number 2. And card number 3 is also incorrect. So there were 2. Now you can see the formatting. When I just hit save, the formatting actually worked. And if I come down here, if I come on the bottom, it says formatting completed. So everything actually worked correctly. So let's bring this down. I'm going to collapse this section. So I could just go ahead and I could just go ahead and ignore that. But what I wanted to do was actually to show you how you can fix these kind of issues, because creating containers, creating websites, that is real easy. The most important part and the most difficult part is actually finding issues, finding bugs, and trying to fix them. So this is going to be part 1. Now, what I'm going to do is we are going to test this. I'm going to basically remove that. I'm going to copy this, bring it down here, paste it. Everything is out of order. And when I hit save, it is going to save that. Now, if for some reason yours doesn't work, hold Control plus Shift plus P. And click on this preferences, open JSON settings. When you click on them, towards the top, you're going to see this HTML. Now for this HTML, the editor default formatter is going to be this prettier VS Code. The same thing is going to be for JavaScript as well. So if it is something other than this, if you see something else, just go ahead and copy this and put it right here and then hit save, and then close this. Don't touch that. If you don't understand how it works, don't bring any changes, because that is basically the entire settings of VS Code. So it is going to basically ruin VS Code for you. Now this is going to be part 3. Part 1 and part 3, they are the same. Let's grab all the ones and we are going to convert them to 3. That's it. Let's take a look at our website. Here is part 1 and here is part 3. Part 2 is still remaining. So the image is different. The text anchor element is the same. But the text is going to say the title. This is going to say this one. So we are going to copy that and come here and could put it here. So which part goes within the span? Starting from SaaS app all the way to landing page, it goes within the span. So this part doesn't go within the span. So I'm just going to copy that, put it before the span. Make sure you don't make any mistakes like I did. And let's put that right here. And I'm going to get rid of to use templates. And if I come down here, we're going to see that crafted for SaaS, app, and a landing page. Okay, SaaS comes within the span as well. So let's cut that, put that right, cut it, put it right here, and remove the space. There we go. Let's save that. And it should be okay. There we go. Crafted for SaaS app and software landing page. So there we go. Part 3 is done. The only part remaining is going to be part 2, for which I'm going to copy paste part 1 as well. We're going to grab all the ones and we're going to change them to 2. Now the difference is going to be the content is going to come after the image. That is going to be the whole difference. Nothing else is going to be different. So first we have the image and then we have the content. As far as the text is concerned, it is going to be modern design with essential features. So it's going to be modern design, and this part is going to come out of the span. Essential features. Let's save that. Let's take a look at our result. So you can see already we have actually styled this a lot. So modern design, and the only thing remaining would be layouting this, the parts of this about section. So as far as HTML is concerned, we are done. Let's jump into CSS. So in the CSS, we are in the about page right here. And the first thing that we need to do here is we need to define how we are going to lay out these. So if we take a look at our HTML, and let me collapse these. So this section, it has 3 items, 3 children, and all 3 of them, they're going to be stacked vertically. So we are going to go ahead and we are going to use flex. I'm going to say display flex. Flex direction is going to change to column. So flex direction column. And the gap is going to be, the row and column gap is going to be 5 rem. Let's save that. Let's take a look at our changes. We shouldn't see anything change except for this gap being provided in between different parts. After that, what I'm going to do is, if I just scroll down, you can see that these titles, they don't go on top of this header because they do have a position relative. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing that we had for you know what? Let me just take a look at this section one more time. I mean, this space, I think it is not that much. It is a little bit more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this space, this gap that we have, and I'm going to come up with a cal function. So let's think. We have only columns. We have only rows, 1 column. It means that when we have rows, we need to only think about row gap. The first value within the gap is going to be row gap. I would want it to be, let's say the minimum size is going to be 4 rem and the maximum size is going to be 4 rem plus 4 VW. This is for the row gap. It doesn't make sense if you don't have any columns to provide column gap. So I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of it. Let's take a look at it. And now it looks, the white space, it has been preserved. And when we decrease the width of the window, this gap is going to be decreased as well, but no less than 4 rem. Let's grab about, I'm not going to provide that for the title. If nothing is broken, why should we fix it? So let's go ahead and let's say for all of the parts, we are going to say display flex. And as soon as we do that, we can see all of our designs, they're taking their shape. Now, let's say justify content, space between, and align items center vertically, and the gap is going to be 4 rem. There we go. Now, this image, it is not allowing this text to actually go ahead and have that space between them. So let's go ahead and let's grab that image. It is about part-img, and then we are going to say flex basis. Since we have not changed the default direction of flex, and it is when the flex is in default, the direction of the flex is going to be row. Therefore, flex basis is going to act as the width for the content. If flex direction is column, flex basis is going to act as the height. Okay, it is not being changed. The reason for that is because this is the container for this image. Let's grab the image and let's say, okay, you have to abide by your parents' dimensions. And we're going to say width is going to be 100%, which is 50% of its containers. There we go. So this is what we have actually done in here. Now this text seems to occupy more space, and we are going to fix that as well. We're going to say about part -- content. These are all the texts. I'm going to say flex basis 50 rem, not 50%, 50 rem. Display flex, flex. These are for the items within this content. So we have a title, we have paragraph, and we have an anchor element. Flex direction column, and the gap is going to be 2 rem. Let's take a look at that. There we go. It is looking way better. Now I want this text to actually be on the to be aligned towards the left, but this in our website it is aligned in the center. Let's go ahead and let's fix that. So I'm going to say dot about content underscore title text align left. So that part is done as well. Let's go ahead and let's style the link. So it is about content title. Let's remove the title. Let's say link. And I want this to be aligned to the left as well. So it is right here. Now, what is the issue here? Why do I want it to be aligned towards the start of the flex container? Let's go ahead and let's give it a background image, which is going to be a gradient, of course. So I'm going to say var gradient primary. Save that. Let's take a look at it. So by default, all items, they're set to stretch. When we take a look at the align items property, and you might think, okay, align items, it works vertically, but this is stretched horizontally. The reason for that is because we have changed the direction of the flex. So when the direction of the flex is default, it is row, and align items is perpendicular to that. Then align items is going to be vertical. But when we change the flex direction to column, align items is going to be perpendicular to that, which is going to be like in the other way, it is going to be horizontal. So when flex direction is column, align items is going to be horizontal. It's going to be the opposite direction. Therefore, this is set to stretch. And now, and that is this for the same reason, I can say align self. Flex start, and that is going to solve. You don't have to decrease the width, you don't have to decrease anything, nothing. The only thing you have to do is basically say, I want this to be flush to the start of the flex container. And after that, provide the styling that you were going to provide anyway. 1 rem and 2 rem. Background size, we are going to increase it to 150% because I want that hover effect. Color is going to be the white color, which is color primary. Font size is going to be STS. And let's give it a transition, which is going to be all 0.5 seconds. Let's go with our favorite cubic Bezier. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to complete the hover, and then we are going to jump into our website. So in the hover, what I want to do, I want to change the background position. So horizontally, it is going to be towards the right, and vertically, it's going to be in the center. Save that. So if I come in here and if I hover on it, it is very subtle, but I believe you can still see that. There we go. It takes, it's quite slow. 0.35 seconds. There we go. Now it is faster. That purplish, I think that is a purplish color, which is on the right when we are not hovering. When we hover, it is going to move towards the left. It's a very, very subtle effect. Very subtle. So I think these styles here, they're done. And quick and easy to use templates. Everything looks cool. Let's go ahead and let's decrease the width of the window. And let's see where we are going to lose our image. Now the size for the text is going to be 50 rem. It's not going to be changed. And if we take a look at our image, you can see that the image's aspect ratio or the size proportion in comparison to the text, it's smaller. So we don't want to do that. So what I would do is around 1000, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to say, okay, all the items, they're going to stack vertically. So I think we do have this 1000. And around 1000, the first thing that I want to do here is to grab the first child. Keep in mind, now the first child and the third one, they're going to be vertical. We are going to say display flex direction column, but for the middle one, we are not going to say column. We are going to say column reverse, because at this point, I want the text to come up, the image to come down. I want to do this for all of these sections. So here is the 1000. First, let me copy that. Let us put it right here, put it right here. And let's say about, so this is the about, we have the first child and we have the third one. Now, what I'm not going to do first and third, I'm just going to say flex direction, column, and I'm going to say, let's just change it to column. Let's see how it works. So this is flex direction column, right? Now, remember, we have said space between for any singular part. That is why you can see the space right here, because it has been set to space between. So we have this text right here, a gigantic amount of space. And then this space is basically the row gap. And then we have this text. And then we have, this image and this text. You can see right after this image, we have another image. And then we have this gigantic space, this text, gigantic space. Now, we need to change that space between, which was for justify content. So I'm going to say justify content. I'm just going to set it to center. It is going to get rid of that space for us. Okay. We can still see that space. The reason for that, I believe, is I think we have provided a flex basis for it, right? So flex basis 50%. Now keep in mind, we also have flex basis 50 rem for this content. That is, for the image we have 50%. For the content we have 50 rem. So what we would want to do is we would want to go ahead and basically say flex basis auto. This is percentage. This is not making any issues. I believe it is this flex basis that is making the issues because it has a fixed value, 50 rem, 500 pixels. It is fixed. And I told you when the flex direction changes, the flex basis behavior also changes. So when flex direction was row, which was the default, flex basis was talking about the width. But now that we have changed it to column, flex basis no longer works on row, it works on column. So I could show that to you as well. Let me just go ahead and inspect this. Let me bring this down a little bit. So if I come in here, you can see that this entire thing, if I hover on our div, okay, where are you, buddy? This is the div with the class of content. When I hover on it, you can see that this entire thing, it has been selected because this entire thing's height is actually 500 pixels. We could take a look at that as well. It is not right here. We need to go to H. Where are you, buddy? Height 480.283. There we go. So it's around 50 rem, this entire thing, the height of this entire section. So what we need to do is we need to change the flex basis value. And what is the default flex basis value? That is the auto. So I'm going to say content for all of the contents. I'm going to say flex basis. Let's set it to auto. And if I bring this down, there we go. So you can see that gigantic, this space, that is the row gap, that gigantic space, that gigantic negative space, it has been removed. So this part is also done. The only thing remaining here is basically shifting these images. So what I'm going to do is something that I have not done before, and this just shows how versatile pseudo classes are. So I want to select the first child and the third one. In other words, I want to select all the odd children, right? So for that, I'm going to say 2n plus 1. This is going to select all the odd children. And we are going to say column, flex direction column. And now let's say I want to select only the even children. So I'm going to say part nth child, and in here I'm going to say 2 times n. So 2 times n is going to select all the even children starting from the second child. 2n plus 1 is going to select all the odd children starting from the first child. And for these ones, what do I want to do? I want to say flex direction column reverse. We have not used that, right? And we are going to say justify content center as well. So this is text and then image, and there we go. The same goes for this image. So we have text and then we have the image, we have text and then we have the image. And technically, if we go down, so you can see around 850, the padding for this section decreases, and it doesn't, because the width is auto now, the width of this content and the height is auto, it can adjust based on the size of the screen. So if I go to 400, we are not going to see any scroll bar because it is automatically responsive. All the other styles for the title, for the paragraph, we have already applied those. They are, where are they? They're within 850, yeah. So in here, section padding and section title, they've already been applied. We don't have to apply those again. So if I go to 330, there is no scroll bar. That is a good thing. I could even go to 300. And still this section would be responsive. So with this, this section of the website has also come to an end. In the next section, in the next video, we are going to style, which is going to be very simple, except for this background, which is going to be a little bit tricky because these two are on top of each other. We are going to style this. I'm going to teach you how you can create this shape with border radius. It's going to be a little bit more complex, but I'm going to try to break it down in the easiest possible way. So that's it for this video. See you in the next one.